Shalom, it's Rabbi Emmanuel Gentlecore. It's been some time since you've seen me on the internet. I used to do programs with Pal Talk connected to Virtual Yeshiva Messiah Truth, and I also did programs at Hebrew University, and sometimes we put programs on the internet. Recently, in the last several years, I've promoted myself doing much more individual counseling and took a tremendous amount of courses. And thank God I've helping a lot of people achieve their personal liberation and redemption. That's one of my loves. I have another love, and you may be familiar with just a year ago, I had some discussions with a Messianic rabbi. The whole issue of Messiah and Judaism and talking to Jews on who is the Messiah and what is our destiny and how does our personal redemption fit in to the global redemption. So these are two different loves, and perhaps they're two different disciplines. However, I truly firmly believe that personal redemption and global redemption and Messianic consciousness really do go together. So what I'm going to do is I started a program. We'll probably do it on Sundays. Thursdays may be a little better for me, but I have a feeling more people available on Sunday. And what I'd like to do is, number one, make the Torah and the that's available to us personal, that we should number one, understand it properly, and we should apply it. And so my true love really is like a spiritual guide, using psychology and the Torah to really create what's possible for people. I'm not an apologist. I'm not a counter missionary, but there's one thing that's very important to me, and that is that the Torah, if it's being quoted and represented, that it should be the Torah. And this is why I agreed a year ago to have these redemption talks series of discussions with a Messianic rabbi. But I truly believe that having a debate and having apologetics, that's not the true way to learn. So what I would like to do is to go over some of the key points of that discussion and illuminate them, explain them, without it being edited and deciding what's broadcasted, and do it academically and do it personally, so we understand the Torah and we're able to apply it in our lives. So some of the topics that we'll discuss is, how do we know what the right way is? There's many debates in what the Torah is saying, what the message of the Messiah is, and so how do we decide? What do we do when we're in doubt? And can we apply this principle of doubt to the milieu of what was happening in the first century when you had different Jewish sects and different Jewish groups? And what was the interaction between the rabbis and the common people, and to what Rabbi Shapira would call Yeshua, we would call him the Nazarene. What interaction was there between the rabbis and him and his students? And I'm really going to try to approach this objectively and truthfully, and I'm open to all questions from whether it be Messianic Jews, Christians, or mainstream Jews. The other points that we're going to discuss is this concept of, like I mentioned before, of personal redemption and global redemption. So really, we're going to trace what's happening in the heart. In other words, we're asked in the Torah to circumcise our heart. In the Tehillim, in the Psalms 51, David is asking for a new heart. And in Jeremiah, where he mentions clearly that he talks about a new covenant, right? And so I believe that there's a thread of understanding that's very important. We're going to talk about redemption. Is it based upon us, or is it going to come from the Messiah? How that goes together. We're also going to talk about how God, very important, interacts into the world himself, as through the prophets, or even through the angels. So a lot of very interesting topics. I just want to give you a feel for what we're going to do. Please join me on Sundays, and we're going to have a YouTube. Eventually, we're going to have Facebook, and I think what I'll probably do is have 2 separate Zoom groups, one for personal development, and the other is a more of a scholarly, honest study of these issues. I will leave you with one idea because I'm recording this. It's Shvi Shel Pesach, the 7th day of it's Erev, just before the 7th day of Passover. The Arizal, he mentions that we had a great illumination of light the first night of Passover when we left Egypt. And to the extent that, we were actually had the level of complete hisarut, of arousal from above. But then after the first day, we lost that in a sense. It was especially, and that's why the second day of Passover we start counting the Omer, and each day we count 49 days. We are rectifying and we are working and developing ourselves. So I'm going to leave you all with a question. How is it possible that in the 7th day of Passover we actually experienced one of the most greatest phenomena and miracles in history, the parting of the Red Sea? And if we lost that illumination from above, how did we how did the sea split? And the beginning of the answer is that we started to act, and we believed in Hashem. We believed in Kodesh Baruch Hu, we believed in God. And if we believe in Him, and we believe that we are connected to Him, and He will work with us, so then there's nothing that can stop us. And I'm going to also be teaching us how to connect with our mind and our heart and our higher power, so that we can really create miracles and split the sea for each and every one of us. I look forward to seeing you all. I want to let you know that if you have any suggestions, any technical help, because we're building this program, and also, of course, financial support, because I really want to give my heart to this. So all of that can be done through contacting me at messiahcoach@outlook.com. messiahcoach@outlook.com. It's an email. It also serves as a tax-deductible contribution, either through PayPal or through Zelle. I look forward to seeing you again and wishing you all the blessings. Thank you.